Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow. Today's episode is going to be very, very unique because it covers a topic that a lot of people sort of talk about, and the fact that, anime is rather expensive. And for once, I've got the receipts. So this one's going to be a really interesting episode. So, for all the people who want to sort of, got that idea, but they just never really see it themselves because they never really experienced it. So now I'm going to actually go through and show you how expensive anime was, even in the should I say the heyday of anime. All right. So again, I want you to remind everyone to go down below, click subscribe, and if you haven't done so, also click the notification button, because again, I'm not quite there. I've seen YouTube sort of recommend like one or two of my videos on the sidebar, and of course that just it just doesn't get to the mass majority of my episodes now. So do get that, and that way whenever I get these new episodes out, you will get notified when they get posted. All right. So today's episode, I'm going to go and cover how expensive anime was, and this time, as a lot of people like to say, show me the receipts. Okay. Well, this time I've got some receipts. All right. So before I begin this sort of pile of receipts I got here, let's just give a little sort of background. So when I first started doing and collecting anime and that kind of stuff, I first just did it very privately, just as a normal person. Just I mailed out to a whole bunch of different fan subbers and CFO club members and CFO chapter heads and that kind of stuff, and basically just traded with different people and just whoever I could get find that had anything that was worthwhile to trade with. And that was really adaptable. I mean, I traded for stuff that was theoretically very easy to get, supposedly. I was also was interested in animation in general, so I was getting just stuff that was off TV. I was getting TV episodes of stuff that was because I was collecting that kind of stuff as well. So I was really open to like a lot of different stuff. Anyway, so I got to a point where I couldn't just do everything from my house. Okay, I just needed to get something a little bit more, so I ended up getting a small storefront. Okay, an office would have done, but I mean, this was a small little computer store or it was actually a typewriter store, a typewriter repair store, and so I started my anime store. And this was a really important factor, because the fact that now people can come in at set times, because that's when you open up the store, and they can get their anime that they always wanted and that kind of stuff, and they can look and browse at CDs and music, and there's video games, and there's the whole stuff that a whole myriad of things that you could do while you're there. And that that was basically the way that we made it. We made it basically a hangout, instead of hanging out at my place, that you can actually hang out in the store. Okay, so that was the premise of it. But one of the good things about this is that it allowed me to apply for a whole bunch of different things. Okay, one of the things is PST exemption. So one of the taxes just to describe it, as a store, you can apply for provincial sales tax exemption. Okay, so here in Canada, you pay two different types of taxes. You pay a provincial tax, PST, which basically the government of BC charges. So it'd be like a California sales tax, for example. Okay, so anybody who sells stuff in the state of California gets charged the California sales tax, whatever that happens to be. In Canada, that's 7% here. Okay, but being a store, I can get a tax exemption number, so that I don't have to pay that when I buy stuff. Okay, kind of handy, nice discount. All right. The second type of tax, of course, is called GST, which is the government service tax or whatever, and that applies to all provinces all across Canada. Okay, and again, it started at 7%, but now they dropped it down to 5%. Okay, but everyone has to pay that regardless of what happens, what it is. Okay, so that's just sort of the two taxes. But anyway, allowing me to exempt myself from one tax was a good thing. The second thing that it allowed me to do is that I can now go to these distributors, or wholesalers, as it were, that weren't open to the general public. Okay, so you had to actually set up an account or whatever with these people, and then you can get a discount off of the suggested retail price. So it'd be like a lot of things like collecting stores, hobby stores, and that kind of stuff. When you buy stuff from these places, there's a certain price that that's marked on it, or whatever, that is the suggested retail price. For example, magic cards, for example, there's a suggested retail price for them, and that's what you would normally sell them for. But I can go into these places, and I can get them at the the wholesaler's price, which is maybe like 15, 20, 25% off the suggested retail price. So that way, if I when I buy them and I go and sell them at retail price, I can make 25% margin on those things. So for example, a box of, let's say, magic cards or whatever, let's say they cost me $150 or something like that, I get 20% off or whatever off of that price when I go and buy it. So then when I sell them, then I make that 20% back, right? Whatever. That's the idea. That's the concept. Okay. So this is very important. Okay. So you think, okay, well, there's a lot of kind of discounts going on. You can save some money. Okay. So then we go on to that. Well, okay. So then you're saving a whole bunch of this money. Then doesn't that make the anime a little cheaper? And it goes, well, yeah, it does make it a little bit cheaper. But the anime was still very expensive, and what made it even worse is, this is in the heyday, or let's say the golden era of English animes that came out in North America. So that compounded the problem, and I'll show you when I go through the receipts how compounding or how difficult the problem became. And then you can just see why, when it came around in 2008, the whole industry just crashed, because it was just totally unsustainable. The bubble had to break somewhere, and it's just totally unsustainable, and you'll see why. Okay, so what I have here is a list or a small stack of receipts and stuff that I had from the from when I purchased different sort of animes. Okay, and I'll just sort of go through them one by one. I guess I'll have to kind of go through the titles and that kind of stuff, and you can kind of look at them over here as I go through them. Okay. Okay, so this receipt that I'm going to go through is from just give you a good idea what it sort of looks like here. Okay. February 8th, 2001, and the total on this thing here is $482, okay, and 31 cents. Okay, now what did I order for this much price, and how much of a discount did I get from one to the other? So as you can see on the thing on I'm gonna put it up here for you, and I'll see on there I ordered 80 Police Volume 1 Bad Blood, okay, and its retail price was $31.95, but I got it at a discount, and it cost me $22.36. Okay, Can Bunny Extra, okay, also $31.95, got it for $22.36. Dragon Ball Z Warrior. So this is one of the individual volumes of Dragon Ball as it comes out, one tape or one DVD at a time here. Okay, $19. Okay, $13.96. So that was actually relatively inexpensive. But you gotta remember, that's only like 4 episodes of Dragon Ball. Okay, or less even. Dragon Ball Z Imperfect Cell, $29.95. That's $20.96. Dragon Ball Z, the Hunt for 18. So that's the episode where they're chasing after number 18. Also $29.95. Also, let's see. Next one is Dragon Ball Z 17's End. Okay, $29.95 regular price. I got it for $20.96. Then I got Ranma and a Half, Volume 9, dubbed, okay, and it's called Battle Foyer, $36.95, $25.86. So these are obviously the VHS tapes of it, because obviously you can remember when Ranma and things like Dragon Ball and that kind of stuff came in dubbed and subtitled, okay. Obviously, these are the Ranma I got in dubbed. Ranma Half Volume 10 dubbed, swimming. Okay, $36.95, $25.86. Then I started getting the episodes of Virtual Fighter, the TV series. Right on, yes, okay. Virtual Fighter Volume 1, Chinatown, I think it was Chinatown Connection, I think it was. And Virtual Fighter Volume 2 dubbed, Behind the Curtain, if I remember right. $37.95, got them for $26.56 each. Okay. Let's see. I ordered the Blood Rain DVD. Okay, suggested retail price is $46.95. Like, think of it, Blood Rain. That was like, it was all right. It wasn't like one of the greatest OVAs and that kind of stuff out there. 45 minutes, maybe an hour, right? But you're paying $46. Like they expected people to pay $46.95 for that DVD. Okay, I got it for $32.87. Okay, but just think about it. That, like, it's not a really great DVD. Like tier 2 maybe. I'm even guessing maybe even tier 3. Okay, for Blood Rain. All right, and it's just they want $46.95 for it. Bubble Crisis Tokyo 2040 DVD number 4. Okay, $46.95. Okay. And I got that one for $32.87. So again, 4 episodes of the Bubble Crisis, Tokyo, Neo Tokyo, 2040 TV series, OVA there. So the second part of it. But yeah, $46 for like 4 episodes, right? Dirty Pair Flash DVD, Angels, right? So that's the first OVA, Dirty Pair Flash OVAs. Okay, also $46.95 suggested rate price, right? Gundam Wing the movie, Endless Waltz, $46.95. So like that's it. Like you can think of the movie, right? Okay, it was almost 2 hours, right? Yeah, so almost 2 hours that one. And there you go, $46.95 for just that. So is a little hard to take because you think every other movie out there is you could think. Probably, you go to them looking on the shelf at Walmart and all kind of stuff, and you see, well, okay, every other movie on the shelf seems to be $18 or $29 or whatever for like all the blockbuster movies and that kind of stuff. And here you are, they want $46.95 for this stuff. I don't know, a little hard to swallow. Evangelion DVD number 4, okay, $46.95. Okay, 4 episodes of Evangelion, okay, and they want $46.95 for it. Soul Bianca, The Legacy, DVD number 3. Okay, so this is the new OVA, the second OVA set for Soul Bianca. So not the original OVA set, but the second remake of Soul Bianca. DVD number 3, $46.95. So again, I would say Soul Bianca first OVA set was tier 1 or tier. I would say it's tier 1, tier 2, just because of this, the CG animation for the ship and that kind of stuff was really neat. The whole entire hyperspace, coming out like water type of thing. That was a really neat effect and that kind of stuff in that show. So I'd say that's a tier 2, tier 1 type of show for sure. But Legacy, that's a tier 2, tier 3 type of anime, and you're only getting like that. This is part 3, right? So. And they want $46.95 for that. It's a little hard to swallow. So there you go. So that's just that many titles for $400. Okay. So all in all, you think, okay, well, all right. So you bought a whole bunch of titles, $400. No real big deal. That doesn't seem so bad. You binge out on some anime and that kind of stuff, and okay, whatever, right? But then you get the next one, okay? Okay. Here's another sort of example. In the era of just before like eBay and that kind of stuff and Amazon really getting rise, there's this company called Express.com, which is supposed to deal with movies and that kind of stuff in fast ways to get that. And I ordered a copy of Jubei-chan, the Ninja Girl, Volume 3. Okay, so again, and that came in at $23.98. So 4 episodes, $23. Okay, all right, okay, I can kind of let that go, right? Legend of Black Heaven Volume 2, $23.98. So, this isn't bad stuff. This is pioneer stuff, and at this time was really pretty good. I mean, Black Heaven was actually pretty awesome. Jubei-chan was cute, but it had a neat story on how the body of Jubei-chan, the legendary Jubei, got put into a girl. And Macross 2 the movie, okay, $23.96. So I mean, okay, Macross the movie, I mean, that was a good price. Yeah, I mean, this is so this is actually pretty well priced. But again, $77.42 by the time these ones came in. Okay, also in the month of March. Okay. Now that's important because now you think, okay, well, all right, so I spent $400 and something or $500, and there's probably more. You'll see what happens. So I'm already at $70 for March. Okay, so the next one comes up is this one here. Okay, this one is dated for March March 14th. Okay, so you can kind of think, okay, this came in first week of March. This is the second week, 14th. Okay, so second week of March. All right. $470, okay? And what did I get for $470? Well, let's see. Bubblegum Crisis 2040 DVD number 2 at $46.95. Again, we explained how expensive that was. DVD number 3, okay? $46.95. Evangelion DVD number 2, Evangelion DVD number 3, Evangelion DVD number 5, all $46.95. So 4 episodes of Neon Genesis Evangelion, they're charging you $46.95. God damn, lucky I'm getting them for $32, whatever, but still, it's pretty expensive. I mean, we're talking, $9 an episode, or $8 an episode, right? Well, okay. Samurai X DVD Trust. Okay, so this is the OVA for Samurai X, or Ronin Kenshin. Okay, $46.95. Okay, so just the OVAs. Okay, the Trust OVA. Okay, it's not even the whole thing. It's just the Trust OVA. $46.95. I mean, Ronin Kenshin is good. I mean, if you had it and you watched the TV series and you had to, that was pretty much you had to buy. But just think of all these things you're getting. Bubblegum Crisis, the Macross 2, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Ronin Kenshin. Okay, guys, this is starting to add up, guys. This is starting to add up, right? Sorcerer Hunters, so Bakuretsu Hunter, DVD number 1, $46.95. Okay, cool show. Samurai X the movie. Well, I mean, you gotta have that one, right? $46.95. Escaflowne DVD number 4, $46.95. Again, that's a solid hit from Pioneer. That's not a you pretty much got to have that one, right? So that's $46.95. Saber Marionette J DVD number 1. Okay, now why this one was $69.95? I don't remember why. I'm trying to think. I don't think they doubled up on Saber Marionette J, did they? I think it was still 4 episodes of DVD, wasn't it? And I'm thinking, wow. I mean, unless it was 8 episodes of DVD, which I don't think it was. I think it was 4 episodes of DVD. $69.95, guys. Jesus. Okay. So here you go. So we're at $470. Okay. And, $77. Okay. And we're only in the first 2 weeks of March. Okay. All right. Next one. Okay. This is March 28th. So 2 weeks. So that was March 14th. This is March 28th. Okay. So 2 weeks go by. Another order comes in. $784. Okay. What's in this order? Well, go down the list here. Duel DVD number 4. Okay. Subtitled. Okay. So Duel number 4, subtitled. Okay. So that's the tape of Duel. All right. One Vision, $37.65. I ordered Cowboy Bebop DVD number 1, first session. Okay. Cowboy Bebop. Again, powerful Bandai, get them titles right now, right? You can't go, you can't miss these ones. These are really, really good. Cowboy Bebop, just 4 episodes on Cowboy Bebop #1. Suggested retail price $48.95. Okay, $48.95, 4 episodes. All right. Gundam Wing DVD #6. Okay, can't because at this time Gundam Wing was the big thing. You can't go wrong with that one. Go 13 Queen Bee the movie $39.95. Okay, so anciently old movie, $39.95. Generator Girl DVD #3 $46.95. Okay, when you compare Cowboy Bebop with Generator Girl, obviously Cowboy Bebop Tier 1. That's one of those you can't miss ones. You're gonna buy the DVD for that one. Generator Girl, I'd put that Tier 3 probably, but they're charging you the same price. Okay, and again, I didn't distinguish the difference between how good it was or whatever. I just, if it showed up on the list, I'm ordering it. That flat done. I don't care. I'm ordering it. That's it. Right? And some people will say, hey, well, why did you order some old ancient title like Go 13 when all this new stuff comes out? Because I wanted anything, which is whatever. So it shows up on the list, boom, I'm getting it. That's it. Right? And there's some pretty stinky titles I got. Okay, just saying that, right? Key the Metal Idol DVD #1. Okay, $46.95. Not to say the Key wasn't bad. I mean, actually, definitely a Tier 2 anime for sure. Lost Universe DVD #5 $46.95. Lost Universe DVD #6 $46.95. So a lot of people say it's like Slayers in space, right? And probably one of the another one of those hits from Megumi Hayashibara. Again, lots of CG, that kind of stuff when they're CGing the ships and that kind of stuff. But I thought it was an alright show, definitely. Definitely tier 221. Martian Successor and Nadeshiko DVD #4. Okay, Outlaw Star DVD #3. I mean, these are really good titles. Okay, they're I definitely in this era and market, Kiazamiya and Outlaw Star, Cowboy, the connection with the Cowboy Bebop and that kind of stuff that Animavision was putting out, just top tier, right? Top tier stuff. Sailor Moon S, the Heart DVD, right? $46.95. Again, Sailor Moon, big deal right now. So more episodes of that. Shamanic Princess DVD, $46.95. So that's one of those ones where you kind of I mean, okay, don't worry with it, but that's a tier 2, tier 3 anime, okay, right? All right. Star Blazers DVD, Series 1, Part 3. So DVD #3 of the series. So again, an old anime, $46.95. Samurai X DVD. It's Trust. Samurai X DVD #2. So the second DVD for Rurouni Kenshin. And Trigun DVD #7, The Puppet Master, $46.95. So again, another Bandai title that was really Ganem title that was right up there, right? Tier 1, had to get that one, right? $46.95. Okay, so here we are. Okay, just these 3. Okay, in the month of March. Okay, just March 2001. Okay, I paid out 77, 470. So we're at 540 and 768. 18. So 540, 7. So $1,400. Okay, $1,400 in 1 month for animes. And there wasn't a lot that you would probably miss, right? I mean, you can, I mean, sure, you can cut down some of the titles and that kind of stuff that you probably would have missed, but really, right? I wouldn't have missed Jubei-chan, Black Heaven, Macross 2. I wouldn't have missed any of those. Bubblegum Crisis, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Samurai X, Sorcerer Hunters, right? Escaflowne. Okay, maybe Saber J, but I thought Saber J was pretty good. I mean, that was right. Duel, yeah. I mean, from the guys who made Tenchi, right? Cowboy Bebop, Gundam Wing, Go 13. Okay, that's an old one. Okay, maybe switch that one out, but whatever. Generator Gaul. Okay, fine. Switch that one out. Key the Metal Idol. A bit old. Okay, fine. Switch that one out. Lost Universe. I definitely would have kept. Nadeshiko, Outlaw Stars, Sailor Moon. Shimano Princess, personal favorite, but I can see why someone would switch that one out. Star Blazers, that's old, that's fine. Samurai X, of course, you can have that. And Trigun, I mean, more than 50% of titles you would have probably wanted to buy anyway. So I mean, you weren't walking away from March with less than $700, okay, to keep up. And this is just to keep up, right? This is just to keep up with the new titles that came out and the new volumes that came out. Wait until next month when the next volumes come out, right? Okay, so you can see, a person, like just a regular, Joe Blow kind of guy, there's no freaking way that a person can keep up with this kind of output of production. And the thing is, this is only 2001. It got even worse. Okay. They continue to pump out more titles, more animes came out, and more companies were trying to pump out anime, and more, even when I went down to the San Diego Comic Con with, Harry and Vincent, like I showed you another video, everybody, like, Marvel, DC, and all these other companies were all trying to get onto the anime bandwagon, and they're trying to all release stuff all at the same time and trying to get you to buy it. And it was already hard to keep up, and they pumped it and made it even harder to keep up. And what was also worse at this time is that you got all this stuff coming out, okay, and I'm going through this list, and I can tell you right now, and I can point out right away what the top tiered titles were, and what the ones that were not missable, right? You couldn't miss these ones because you just had to get them. And even just cutting the list down to just those ones, it was hard to even do that, right? Because you think more than half the titles on this you would probably at this time would want to get, because they were top top 1 and 2 tier type animes, okay, and you would go over those ones for sure, okay. But you could just imagine as time went on and these other companies sort of kind of came in, they weren't releasing top 1 and 2 tier stuff. They were releasing top 2 and top 3, or tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 type of animes, and they're charging the same kind of prices or same height. And this is what really, really kills you, because it's like, sure, you're gonna try to buy some of these stuff and you think it's whatever, but it's not as good as it is, and this is where a lot of fluff and a lot of crap started coming out, because all the top stuff was all being taken, right? All the newest stuff and all the best stuff was already taken. So we're going to start going back in the time. We're going to start picking up OVAs and that kind of stuff that other companies did, passed on or couldn't get licensed, or just no one showed any interest in. And then they started releasing this really weird stuff, and the started sliding down, just like until 2008 or roughly around there, and the whole anime industry just totally crashed, and all these companies that were making it now are no longer making it, and they everything just the whole model for making money on anime and that kind of stuff just failed, okay. So just gives you a kind of a really good reflection of just how hard it was to get anime at this particular time. Because you think at this time, it still was not readily available over online, okay. It's still very, very media based. Okay, so if you really wanted to watch this kind of anime or whatnot, you still were, pretty well much restricted to having to, order a tape or, get a DVD or something like that, or get a friend to make you a copy of it and then send it to you or whatever. That was still the way you had to watch anime at this time. Okay, streaming sort of existed, and these kind of files kind of existed. The compression formats and that kind of stuff weren't really solidified yet, so people were still kind of, experimenting with real media player, for example, which no one ever uses anymore. Some really old archaic compression formats like 3GP and real player obviously was another one that like virtually nobody ever uses anymore. Really basic versions of MP, it's an MPEG, version 2 type of compression, lower resolutions like like SVCDs and that kind of stuff. Some really experimental stuff, okay, that people were using to try to get media in some kind of a more digital form, and it was still very, very, rough. Quality was pretty poor, pretty jaggedy edges and that kind of stuff, and pretty questionable places where to get it too. So yeah, we were still pretty trapped at this time in order to get this stuff. So but it the market will soon change very, very quickly in the next next couple of years, and then of course that's where industry saw kept projecting upwards. The demand went downwards, and as I said, everything fell apart around 2008 when basically everything of that matter closed and just crashed, right? And you can tell that's when things like Blockbuster Video all disappeared. I remember big music video and that kind of chains all disappeared. HMV, Suncoast Video, a lot of those type of places, A&A Records, things like that. Tower Records, for example, is another example. Just all disappeared off of the landscape, right? Because they just weren't making any money anymore. The same kind of money on CDs and DVDs and movie box sets and all that stuff. They just weren't doing it, right? Because as I said, people weren't buying that kind of stuff anymore, and it makes sense. How in the heck is any regular everyday average person who's interested in anime can keep up with this stuff? They just can't. There's just no physical way that a person that even does that, right? Because I was sort of lucky to the fact that I had my own house, so I didn't have to pay for that. I didn't own a car. I didn't. Anyone who knows me, I don't buy things of to boost my stature. So I don't buy name brand clothes. I mean, half the stuff that I have is what at that time was all the free stuff that we got from Radio Shack and that kind of stuff. So you can see in my previous video, I'm wearing a Creative Labs Sound Blaster T-shirt that they gave us for free for selling Sound Blaster cards. And I remember another one for the Radio Shack promotion one, which is the standard Radio Shack RTSR computer one. I remember we went to a bunch of computer trade shows, and I got like a T-shirt for like a monitor, like for Samsung, and of course I said the Sound Blaster one for Creative Labs. I think I got one that just said USR Robotics for like modems and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I didn't buy good name brand stuff. I just got ordered a lot of the free stuff that I got. And now when I got my job at Rona, same thing. They were handing out stuff for Olympics and that kind of stuff. That was all I wore. Didn't have a car, didn't care, right? Didn't have to pay for rent and mortgage and that kind of stuff. So I lived at home. Sure. I was at home. I was in my own house. What do I need to really worry about, right? And at that time, my mom was still living with me, so that they basically took care of the groceries and that kind of stuff, and and I really had virtually no expenses. So whatever I made, I could spend on anime, and I just, whether it was commercial releases like this, whether it's Japanese laserdiscs, whether it's CDs, anime art books, anime figurines, whatever it was, posters and that kind of stuff. I just got it all, right? Because I had nothing better to do. Right? I didn't save any of it, and just this is an indication how I can tell, right? So I hope you kind of enjoyed this episode and kind of just seeing, when people talk about how hard it was to get anime and just how expensive it was. Sometimes it just doesn't, you can't put it into perspective because you just don't see, how could someone like say, wow, these Japanese laser discs are like so expensive, like how do people afford it? And these anime DVDs when they came out, I mean, they released them, so why didn't people kind of gravitate towards them? And as I said, I know a lot of people tried, and there was so much that was out there, but it was so difficult to pick and choose, and to basically, as an anime industry or producer, it was really difficult to convince people to hurry up and buy these things, because there's a certain shelf life of these things, and once it sort of passes, it gets really tough to sell these older DVDs, older animes, right? So, and I think that starting from even like 2000, 2001, the landscape really changed to the point where it basically just imploded on itself. Okay, so I hope you found this really kind of interesting, and now that hopefully by seeing this and kind of going over it and kind of seeing how things kind of click together, you can see how chaotic and how absolutely unsustainable the anime market was, and the marketing model behind how anime got big in North America, trying to do it this way. And as I always like to say, we try to support the commercial companies when we can, but sometimes it just gets really, really difficult. All right. So hope you found that really interesting, and again, I hope I get you again in the next episode where I've got some more stuff pulled out of archives. Okay. So until next time, see you again.